welcome to the Rouge Show. Today, I learned that the defeated and disgraced atheist and leftist Sandy Smith has gotten a job teaching history at the high school of the town she was mayor of. Thus she is in a position to brainwash the children of the town with concepts like critical race theory, which I have warned about before. And when the school board and the superintendent tried to remove her, the principal of the high school disobeyed them and teamed up with Mayor Wayne Bentley to remove the school from the control of the school board. Wayne Bentley, who I thought was loyal, has turned out to be a traitor, stabbing his fellow Republicans in the back to gain favor with these subversives. We should make an example of him. Rouge Scumbag then flashes the address of the town's mayor's office on the screen. He also posts that address on his official website. Robot, answer the door.
As you command.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Bentley?
Yes. When you were in this place, did you get a lot of hate mail?
I did get some, but I mostly ignored it. Why?
Well, this office has gotten a ton of hate mail this week, and most of it is from people outside this town, thus people who have no business commenting on what I do as its mayor. So why are they attacking me?
This reminds me of when Ted Anderson organized that fake protest in our town of hundreds of outsiders to attack me and stir up publicity for himself.
I almost regret getting elected as mayor because of all the criticism. Why can't people just mind their own business?
Maybe we can find out who stirred up these attacks on you. There is one possibility.
Sandy then pulls out her smartphone and checks on YouTube. And in a few minutes,
I found it. It was Rouge Scumbag who called for you to be attacked.
Does he even live in this town? It seems like that blowhard has too much time on his hands.
Fortunately, we have our own means of fighting back at him and his fans. I will talk with my daughter and her wife about this.
Welcome back to the Tuscany Tavern, Damien. We haven't seen you here in a long time.
Yeah, I've actually been out of town a lot this past year, seeing someone. She is a doctor who works in a hospital in Arlington. So what's with all this new stuff on the menu? These don't look like Italian food.
The owners, Lucy and Jessica, decided that for this week they would include food items from other countries, including China, Japan, Korea and India. It's a special international menu. If these items sell a lot, we may put them on the menu permanently.
Awesome. I'm of Chinese descent myself, so I will try the orange chicken delight. Oh, I spoke to Jessica and she told me she was here. May I see her for a bit while I am eating?
Sure, no problem. Don't get me wrong, working as a cook at that Atlantic fishery was a good experience, but as time passed, I began to miss working here. Boston can never replace this town. I even talked James into deliberately flunking a couple of his classes so he would lose his scholarship and have a perfect excuse to return to Texas.
Wow, he must be really devoted to you to do that. Does his mother know?
Nope. We don't want her disappointed in James, especially now that she is a teacher herself at our former high school. Jessica, Damien is here. And he wants to talk to you now.
Would it shock you to know that Rebecca Wilson, formerly known as Rebecca Smith, formerly known as Rebecca Green, has already given birth to her 6th baby? Her first child with Ted Wilson? Maybe fatherhood will make a better man out of him, one can only hope. Unlikely. She had a daughter and Ted Wilson and she are already fighting about it, according to what I read on Facebook. Ted is demanding she get pregnant again to give him a son, or he will divorce her. Ah, the King Henry VIII syndrome. When you were born, your father was overjoyed at having such a beautiful baby that he bragged about you for months afterwards. You were always his most beloved, even after James was born. That was actually his best feature, that he loved you so much even after he stopped loving me. Anyway, enough about those two idiots. We need to deal with a more serious threat to us all. You really want us to take on Rouge Scumbag, one of the most powerful media personalities in this country? a multimillionaire with dozens of corporate sponsorships for his show, which is broadcast live on national television every week. How can we compete with him? Debbie, someone needs to stand up to his bullshit. He has been slandering me and others among Democrats for years. He and others like him love to lie about what the left is about, because if the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth was consistently told about the issues in America, the Republican Party would be completely overthrown, and even the Democratic Party would have to be drastically changed. Entire generations of Americans have been brainwashed by conservative bigots controlling the media. We need to challenge them. The internet with its podcasts and videos will allow us to do that. Isn't that why you and Carrie created the America for All network? Not really. We just wanted the freedom to do our own news broadcasts without having to be censored by the news-owning corporations. Debbie, I agree with your mother. I'm sure if we do some digging we can find plenty of evidence to discredit Rush Scumbuz's many lies. James actually watches his show every night. And I've begun watching it too. We really need to know what the right-wing bigots are saying so we can understand why so many Americans still blindly hate liberal or progressive politics that are meant to benefit most of us.
As Debbie and Carrie consult on how to deal with Rush Scumba, Damien has a discussion with Jessica.
So you want me to take back the pharmacy?
Yes, because my girlfriend wants me to live with her, so I'll be moving to Arlington next month to start a new life with her. I may even take up nursing again to work in the same hospital as her. After a few months together, we will, I hope, get married.
That's wonderful. I hope it all works out.
Excuse me, but I'd like to offer a suggestion. Why not have your girlfriend come live here instead?
Why would you do that?
Because the last time Dr. Drake was here, I overheard him talking on the phone to someone about the hospital, that it was short-staffed. So both you and your girlfriend would likely be guaranteed jobs if you apply there.
What do you think?
Maybe you should talk directly with Dr. Drake to make sure there was no misunderstanding on Bella's part.
Yes, I did say the hospital needed help, but you need not put your life on hold about it. If your girlfriend is inviting you to live in Arlington, why not go there?
I'll talk to her about it, but if there was a place for her in your hospital, maybe I could convince her to be the one that will move.
What kind of doctor is she?
She is actually a specialist in heart conditions. Her biggest idol is Dr. Michael DeBakey.
Fascinating. When I was in medical school, his works were required reading for all students, not just heart specialists. He was and still is considered a great hero. And it just occurred to me, if your girlfriend had been at this hospital a few years ago, maybe she would have discovered Susan Bentley's heart condition in time, and Mrs. Bentley might not have died in that church bombing during her granddaughter's wedding. Mrs. Bentley needed a triple bypass procedure, but her condition wasn't diagnosed properly because I am not a heart specialist.
All right, I will talk to Martha about it. But I won't be surprised if she flatly rejects the idea.
Actually, I'd love to move to your town. I'm actually getting tired of the hectic life in Arlington, and the property values are too high. Tell this Dr. Drake I'm looking forward to working with him.
Well, that was easy. And thanks for the suggestion, Bella. I appreciate it.
One day, Debbie and Carrie are visited by an old friend who is also a celebrity.
Vicky Jones, what brings you here? Last month, your mother-in-law Lucy took part in an episode of The Blazing Beauty Show, replacing an actress who was laid up in hospital. Did you see that episode? Yes, we did. It was interesting seeing Mother Lucy play a character so different from her real self. Well, that actress, Jennifer Gaines, is still recovering from her car accident, so production of The Blazing Beauty Show has been halted for another month or so. However, I came up with a solution to keep my production crew busy. You remember when you and Carrie did that movie Trick or Threat? Of course, that was a lot of fun to do. And then it came out and bombed. It did fail to make a profit in its theater run, but then it was released on DVD just before Halloween, and it sold well, and now it has a huge cult following in social media. So now the studio has given us the green light to make a direct-to-video sequel. Sort of. What do you mean? The first movie featured zombies invading the town. This one, Trick or Threat 2, will feature androids who attack the town using Halloween as a cover. The androids will appear using CGI, but we still need voice actors to play them. Would you like to play a female android? Sure, that sounds like fun.
Vicky Jones then pulls out her cell phone to play a video from YouTube.
Rock and roll, rock and roll.
That's interesting. So will I have to fly to Los Angeles for this movie? No, my production crew will be arriving in your town next week for outdoor shooting. You can record your lines right here if you want. Great. Looking forward to it. So are we having to fight androids again like we did in the Blazing Beauty show? No, it looks like we will play androids instead. I won't even be starring in this production. I will be its director. I asked Laura Park to come back here to take part in the movie too. She will be given the lead role as a female android. You will play the town's sheriff helping to combat the androids. I'm down for that.
Laura Park arrives the next day along with the Hudson brothers, Matthew and Tommy.
Thanks for offering us these acting jobs. If Tommy and I become successful as actors, it will give us another means at fame and making money, even if albums and tours of the Hudson Family Band don't become hits in the future. So I am to play the mayor of the town?
Right. And your brother will play a construction worker who is killed by the androids early in the movie. Is that okay, Tommy?
Sure. I've never acted before, so a bit role like this is fine.
Debbie, all your lines for the yellow female android will be recorded now, and then we will make CGI animations to fit your recorded dialogue. Your voice recordings will undergo processing to make them more machine-like. Alright, let's begin. You humans are fools to think you can resist us. We are the superior beings. We will add your world to our growing empire.
Then it is Laura's turn to play the white female android.
The humans are the perfect species for us to take advantage of, smart enough to understand high technology, but weaker than us, so we can enslave them.
Then the actor playing the white male android records his lines. How dare you? We didn't come all this way to be humiliated by humans. For that, you will all die. Finally, the actor playing the yellow male android records his lines. Paul Jones. I'm beginning to wonder if we made a mistake coming to this world. 2 of us are already terminated, so why not just cut our losses and leave? After all the android's lines are recorded, outdoor shooting begins.
Tommy, this is the scene where you will be confronted and then killed by the white male android.
How is this supposed to work? I don't see any android here.
He will be added to the scene in post-production. You just have to use your imagination and pretend there is an android in front of you. To help you, someone else will say what are supposed to be the android's lines while remaining off-screen.
Okay, I am ready.
Now we are ready. Action.
You look strong, human. Let's see how strong. What? Where did you come from? Die, you sack of water and flesh.
Good. But we must do several takes of this scene to make sure we get the best footage. Tommy, put a bit more emotion in your dying, please. In this scene, you will be discussing with the mayor how you can defeat the androids. Your sister Vicky Sims will also be in this scene. Are you ready? Sure, let's do this. What are we going to do? Those androids killed my mother. They ruined our house. They are trying to scare us into surrendering, but all they are doing is giving us more reason to destroy them. Mayor Ben, I think we need to get the U.S. Army involved.
I agree. I'm sure even those androids will find the Army's tanks and rockets more than a match for them.
Then some of the scenes have CGI added to them.
You look strong, human. Let's see how strong.
What? Where did you come from?
Die, you sack of water and flesh.
You cannot escape, human. You will serve us or die.
I don't care what you do to me, just leave my daughter alone.
Then you choose death.
I'm beginning to wonder if we made a mistake coming to this world. 2 of us are already terminated, so why not cut our losses and leave?
And risk being terminated by our own superiors for our failure.
If they do that, we shouldn't be loyal to them anyway. This looks like a suicide mission.
As Debbie and Carrie help Vicky Jones and her production team with the sci-fi movie, Sandy Smith does some research on the background of Rush Scumbaugh.
According to this Wikipedia entry, Scumbaugh tried to make a living as an actor in Hollywood for several years, but gave it up when he was offered a chance to host a radio talk show. Then after a decade of that, he was given a television talk show. James tells me that Scumbaugh loves to bash the Hollywood elite as leftist and unpatriotic. But why would he start working there, then?
Maybe you should ask the head of that studio that is here now. Maybe she knows something?
Oh yes, I know all about what happened. When I started my career as an actor, I was given a minor role in a movie. Rush Scumbaugh was supposed to be given a major supporting role in that same movie. But then he made the mistake of making racist slurs at a party he was attending. And the director of the movie happened to be there, and he was black, so he slugged Scumbaugh and fired him from the project. So that's why he hates the Hollywood community.
Is something wrong, Mrs. Smith?
Well, it's not something either of us can fix to make things better, I guess. Excuse me.
And so the movie is soon completed. Then Vicky Jones gets a call from Los Angeles. It is her co-star, Jennifer Gaines, who plays Lucy Conrad in the Blazing Beauty show.
Vicky, this is Jennifer. I have great news. I can finally walk again. The doctors removed all my casts and even my nose has healed up perfectly, so I can resume acting with you when you are ready.
Awesome. We have missed you.
Oh, really? I thought you would have fired and replaced me after seeing that episode of my character having a terrible date. I'm kidding. That was awesome to watch from my hospital bed. I'd like to send Lucy Sims a personal note of thanks for stepping in for me.
Actually, one moment.
Hello, my evil twin. Yes, playing your role for 1 week was fun, but acting is really not something I would do for a career. You can have the role of Lucy Conrad all to yourself. Thanks. I doubt I would be a success as a restaurant owner myself. I can't even cook very well. So you do you and I will do me, eh? She's right. Looking like someone and being someone are not the same. It is never cool to judge people by appearances. I mean, it still creeps me out a bit seeing your husband, because he reminds me of Debbie's dead father, especially knowing how horribly he died. No offense intended.
None taken. Knowing I am still alive makes me value every day. As both an actor and the husband of this amazing woman.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the America for All show. Debbie Smith reporting now. Tonight, we focus on the notorious Rush Scumbaugh, one of the most dishonest bigots to ever infest a news network, but because what he says supports the agenda of his corporate masters, they pay him well. And with me now is Vicky Jones, one of the top TV actors and producers in Hollywood. Vicky, you were telling me you have been asking others about their experiences with Rush Scumbaugh. Yes. I was able to dig up a lot of dirt on him. He tried for years to be an actor in Hollywood, only to get fired from a major movie production after the director of the movie overheard him making racist remarks. A few months later, Scumbaugh made the even bigger mistake of trying to seduce the girlfriend of another actor, and that actor beat him up after the girlfriend accused Scumbaugh of sexual assault. And how do you know this? Do you know the couple? Well, yes. That girlfriend was actually me and the actor was my future husband Paul Jones. That was back when I was still a blonde, before I made my hair pink instead. Scumbaugh was such a creep, so now that he claims to have seen the light about how corrupt and elitist Hollywood is, It sickens me. It just shocks me how much of a hypocrite he really is. I'm not the only woman Scampa harassed. There are at least 10 others he went after at one time or another, including a couple of married women.
Thanks for your testimony, Vicky. And now on an even more disturbing note. Paul Smith, the principal of the Christian Way Academy in Houston, Texas, was arrested yesterday after he was videotaped raping a 13-year-old girl who had been locked up in a room all day as a punishment for disorderly conduct. But the girl claimed all she did was fight back at a bigger boy who had been harassing her. The videotape was later stolen and leaked to the police by Victoria Mueller. Paul happens to be my uncle and he's a Mormon, while Victoria is my aunt, by marriage, and she is a Jehovah's Witness. I guess I should be thankful I wasn't raised in either religion. I don't have to worry about being in such a scandal, eh?